Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. I'm also going to talk about what Trump can expect for 2025 and what we could expect for XRP in 2025 as well. Everybody's asking me, where can I get RLUSD? Brad Garlinghouse states that the Ripple RLUSD is to be issued in weeks, not months. That was back in September. People are still expecting it to go live by the end of this year. You'll be able to acquire it on the exchanges when it happens. This comes from Black Swan Capitalist. Donald Trump's former economic advisor, Judy Shelton, outlines an alternative to gold for cross-border payments. Take a listen.
It doesn't have to be gold. I think that it's important that money be a meaningful unit of account when it goes cross-border.
You can move anything of value across borders right now utilizing XRP. XRP is a cross-border remittance protocol that functions as digital gold, stabilizing currencies and solving the cross-border payments challenge for central banks. All these central banks are getting ready to back currencies with gold. XRP can still move that gold-backed currency from one country to another. It's going to be moving a lot of value on a daily basis. When it comes to gold, gold's about to get tokenized, and people are going to be moving the value of gold from one country to another. XRP can move that tokenized gold as well. That's why I said people want to have XRP backed by gold. You really don't want it backed by gold because it could be moving value so much higher in value than gold. It could be moving tokenized oil, tokenized Lamborghinis, doesn't matter. Whatever moves across borders that has value, XRP can move it. I still think it's going to be very high price in the future. I'm talking like 4 and 5 digits. Everybody still thinks that the BIS and the IMF have a fixed price for XRP as well. But I think Trump's going to be facing an economic crash in 2025. People argue and say the crash isn't going to happen because Trump's going to fix everything very fast. You're not fixing the economic problems we have right now overnight. It's going to take time. The U.S. economy is going to crash hard in 2025. It will be worse than it was in 2008 because the average American is much poorer now than they were back in 2008. It will be like the 1930s Great Depression all over again due to the number of people being severely impacted. What happened in 08 is going to be it's going to be like 08 on steroids, what's going to happen in 2025, in my opinion, because the U.S. is also $36 trillion in debt. Even the IMF is warning us the U.S. economy is going to slow in 2025. They didn't say crash, they said it's going to slow down. Even Elon Musk is predicting hardship, economic turmoil, and a stock market crash if Trump wins. And he's going to work with Trump. Elon Musk, the world's richest man, said that if Donald Trump wins and gives him a role in government, Americans will suffer hardship as a result of efforts to address the national debt. He made the comments Friday in a virtual town hall on his website, X. When asked about tackling the nation's debt, he mentioned changing the tax code, then went on to say there will be some financial difficulty imposed on some Americans. Most importantly, we have to reduce spending to live within our means. He said, adding that these efforts will involve some temporary hardship, but it will ensure long-term prosperity. 2025 does not look good at all. I said it before, if we see this crash happen, I think we're going to see a blow off top for crypto. I think the stock market has one more blow off top in it before the correction happens. People are expecting a 50% correction. And then you got to start looking at housing and other dominoes that could fall at the same time. But the way people are talking about Trump right now, they were talking the same way about Obama back in 2008. Obama's economy, the only reason it didn't fully collapse is because the Federal Reserve pumped $4.5 trillion into it to prop it up. The feds routinely warned him to reduce its role by implementing fiscal policy. His response? He did nothing. Now, we don't have the Fed willing to bail out these banks anymore either because of the massive debt. Even the FDIC talking about bail-ins, they were talking about that for a reason. They know at some point we're going to have a massive liquidity crisis. The banks are going to collapse and you are going to experience a bail-in. They're not expecting bailouts either. They can't even bail everyone out. They don't have enough money if a handful of banks collapse at the same time. This is why I told you a couple of weeks ago in a video, I said, what we're really voting for in this 2024 election is who's going to take us through the crisis of 2025. Every person is warning of it right now. The one question I have is, will we see ICE 9 once the economy crashes out? Is this going to give us a reason to experience the financial freeze that they have been planning? Take a listen to Jim Rickards.
I came away from all three meetings convinced of one thing. When the next crisis hits, the elites are planning to freeze the financial system, and they'll replace it with a new system, one not based on the U.S. dollar. When that happens, we'll wake up to a very strange and disturbing new reality.
And for our viewers that are watching today, what might their reality look like that morning? How does this manifest?
First, they'll have gone to bed knowing that a massive financial crisis was underway. But when they wake up, they'll find it has worsened and the contagion has spread worldwide. When they go to withdraw money, their ATM will say, closed temporarily. When they go to sell stocks, their account will say, transaction not available. When they go to their local business, that business will only accept cash if it's open. As citizens realize they're being barred from their money, riots will erupt. It's going to get really bad really quickly.
How would such a freeze actually work? And wouldn't that be highly illegal?
Well, it wouldn't be illegal technically because they've been quietly laying the groundwork for years. They've rigged the financial laws, changed the rules of the game to allow this to happen. The stage is set. They have the levers in place. The lights are positioned. Now someone just needs to flick a switch and they'll impose ICE 9 rapidly. And again, all of this will...
And take notice, he said like a flip of the switch moment. And this is where they would also come in and gut BlackRock. Like I said, I think it's a shell company for the elites. And Trump will have to lead us through this. Check out this article, How Elites Will Collapse America Like Rome. Whitney Webb warned of this as well, except she talks about it a little bit differently than Jim Rickards does. In a compelling episode of Impact Theory, investigative journalist Whitney Webb delves into the intricate connections between environmental organizations and Wall Street giants like BlackRock. She raises alarms concerning about the potential exploitation of financial systems, including debt-for-nature swaps, which may disguise profit-driven motives as altruistic endeavors. This article explores the complex web of financial criminality, organized crime, and the influence of elite power structures on the American society. I think Whitney Webb is going down the same road as Jim Rickards, but she sees BlackRock coming out as a winner on the other side. Jim Rickards sees BlackRock getting gutted while the freeze is happening at the same time. And could this be what leads us into the new financial system? And is this going to happen with the crash of 2025? This comes from Smoke. Why should you expect a major reset of the global financial system? Significant shifts in the financial system are possible when key players come to a consensus. However, this is an incredibly delicate issue. Central banks are quietly planning this reset behind closed doors, knowing that any public hint of a new financial system could trigger an immediate collapse of the current one. This is exactly why smart money is focused on what central bankers do, not what they say. Central banks could initiate the reset as effortlessly as wiping out international debt on a Sunday afternoon, resetting the balance sheet to zero. This will mark the start of a new financial era. Bretton Woods 3.0 is coming. And this is all documented. So we know the plan, and we planned accordingly by investing in what the elites see as the future. That's what we hold when we hold XRP. But this is going to come without a warning. The reset will happen without clear warnings. The G20 will not announce this idea. The biggest banks will not prepare their customers. Only insiders and smart money will be in the know. And they will be well positioned to capitalize on this reset. However, it seems Bank of America is dropping hints about the looming reset of the financial system and the crucial role gold will play. As documented below, gold will be an essential component of the planned reset. Yes, this has been in the works. The document even uses the same exact language that Bank of America employs when discussing gold's value in the upcoming shifts. Gold will be a safe haven when the storm passes. This is why central banks are stockpiling gold and why the BRICS unit currency is backed by it. Don't be distracted from seeing the big picture. That's what they want. And I've been preparing you for this in video after video. Everybody was always looking at the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab with the cyber attacks, and it could come in the form of a massive cyber attack, then a financial freeze, global financial freeze. Then all of a sudden, everything comes back online and the new financial system comes up and running. And when I went and voted, I voted for Trump because I like his idea for the economy. I think we're getting cheap gas again. I also hope we get cheap groceries as well. But I also voted Trump because I looked at him as better for leading us through the upcoming crisis of 2025. XRP is going to skyrocket when this happens. The DXY will be plummeting during a financial collapse. Young people can no longer afford to buy a home. The typical home buyer age has hit a new record of 56 years old, according to the NAR study for transactions between July 2023 and June 2024. This compares to the typical age of 45-year-olds seen in 2021 and 39-year-olds in 2000. Over the last 3 years, the median age of repeat buyers and first-time buyers rose from 56 to 61 and from 33 to 38 respectively, both hitting all-time highs. Buyers are getting older as record high prices and elevated interest rates have contributed to the worst buying conditions in history. U.S. housing affordability is a crisis. It's a bunch of dominoes that are all lined up, and we're waiting for one to fall. When that one domino goes, it's taking the rest of them with it. It's going to be the banks collapsing. It's going to be the commercial real estate market collapsing. That's going to flow into residential. On top of that, I think we're going to see that massive stock market correction at some point as well. Some people say that's going to come later, like towards the end of 2025. But it's going to be a series of events that I think will lead us into a new financial system. But anybody out there can see it already coming. $36 trillion debt is not going away overnight. People even said they're going to reset the U.S. debt. And that would bring on a massive worldwide crisis as well. Everything would crash if they wiped the U.S. debt. But I think they've been stringing the dollar along as long as they possibly can. But we are getting to the end of the line. Something is going to give. If Trump wins, that Epstein client list is going to become public. Elon Musk, take a listen.
You know, I think part of why Kamala is getting so much support is that if Trump wins, that Epstein client list is going to become public.
What do you all think? You think we're going to get to see the Epstein list? I'm really hoping that happens. I think that's why a lot of people are packing up and leaving the United States. People know that people are starting to figure out the truth of what happened with Epstein. Just in, Biden to rush over $6 billion to Ukraine for security assistance before Inauguration Day. I hope this ends with Trump as well. We keep sending money overseas. I think a lot of this money ended up becoming laundered, and some of it came right back to the White House. But we need to fix the problems in the United States. I stress that. There's a lot of people suffering right now. People are working 2 and 3 jobs and still not being able to get ahead. And now we have Jerome Powell getting ready to cut rates again, and that's going to send inflation even higher. I'm hoping we get cheap gas and cheap groceries with Trump, but I don't think that's going to happen until something breaks first. But I wanted to do this video because I keep seeing people say the crisis is no longer going to happen. Trump canceled the crisis. You're not fixing these problems overnight. And I never put my faith in another person either. If anything, put your faith in God. That's the way I look at it. Because you can't rely on one person to fix the problems that have been going on for the past 4 years. Is things going to get better under Trump? I absolutely hope so. I expect things to get better. That's why I voted for him. But he can't fix all of these problems. The problems in the United States are way out of control. And it's going to take a lot of time to fix it. And I think a crisis is going to happen. And that's what's going to lead us to the fix, to the solution to the problem. But that's just my thoughts. I will always want to know your thoughts as well. Put it in the comment section down below. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.